Greetings everyone and welcome back to Lisa's Corner. I'm very happy to see you again. This video is a follow-up on my previous one, by the end of which we managed to identify the applicable ECCN code and discovered that the European dual-use regulation, besides controlling the spacecraft, is also controlling a spacecraft bus and the spacecraft payload. What are all of these and what to do in case when your satellite is a military one, we will discover in today's episode. Let's go! First, what is a spacecraft bus? You probably had the same association as I when first hearing about it, but it's not looking this way. It looks a little bit different. Dual-use regulation defines a spacecraft bus as the equipment that provides support infrastructure of a spacecraft and the location of the spacecraft payload. So on this picture you can see that the payload is on top and the lower part is the spacecraft bus. For CubeSats, it will look a little bit more different. So you have here the main part and the payload on top. And that's basically it. So let's move further. Second, what is a spacecraft payload? Again, dual-use regulation tells us that a spacecraft payload is the equipment which is attached to the spacecraft bus and designed to perform the particular mission in space, whether it be communication, observation, or science. So the contents of the payload depend on the type of the satellite, while the communication satellite will be filled with different communication antennas, receivers, and transmitters, and observation satellite will have, for example, imager sensors. As we can see here, dual-use regulation controls only specific payload items, and those in fact include devices based on helix and other different things, atomic frequency standards, telecom equipment, radio equipment employing spread spectrum, cryptographic activation tokens, different kinds of optical equipment, then radar system, isolation system, and different other things. So for each of those, a separate license is required. 3. What if your Smallsat is military? Well, all military items on the European Union level are controlled by the Common Military List adopted by the European Council. When we list this document, we can find Article M11C controlling the spacecraft, which is specifically modified or designed for military use. So as soon as your spacecraft is specifically designed or modified for military use, this Common Military List will be applicable. 4. What should you memorize from this Smallsat series? First of all, the size of the satellite doesn't matter for expert controls. Second, dual-use regulation is controlling spacecraft, but also spacecraft bus and the components of spacecraft payload, some of them, and you need to ask for a license for each. The third one, if your spacecraft is specifically designed or modified for military use, another document will be activated, and this document is called Common Military List, at least on the European Union level. On this note, I would like to thank you for your attention, wish you the best week ever, stay happy and healthy, and see you in the next episode.